This week on Twende, we push beyond the map into the untamed wilds of a place few have dared to explore, Karamatian.
We stopped because ahead on the road, tumeona ndovu. Kuna mtu wa pikipiki hapo nyuma yetu. Amedecide to shield, ajishield na sisi.
At the foot of the majestic Nguruman escarpment, I stumble upon a hidden paradise, serene, silent, na pia ni breathtaking. Here the horizon stretches endlessly and the land comes alive with the calls of the wild. I also uncover a secret hideout perfectly placed for watching nature's most elusive creatures up close and undisturbed. Last week, we were in the part of Magadi that gives this region its name. We visited the two lakes that are different from each other, Emakati and Naskiaingida, also known as Little Lake Magadi. Today, we are going past those two towards the highland region of this part of the county. From Magadi town, the road is a loose surface all-weather road. Hapa the public transport vehicles are the usual suspects, Probox. Like much of Kajiado, this region is sparsely populated. Yet, life still quietly thrives. The open landscape makes it ideal for livestock keeping. The soil here is rich in minerals, giving the meat a deeper, more distinct flavor. That's why you'll often hear people talk about the taste ya mbuzi ya Magadi. We now begin our ascent, leaving behind the lowlands of Magadi and heading toward the towering Nguruman escarpment, a dramatic wall that marks the western edge of the Great Rift Valley. We cross the Ewaso Nyiro South River, and just like that, we find ourselves at the foot of the escarpment. There are no national parks or official reserves in this part of the country. Instead, local communities have taken the lead, establishing conservancies that keep vast stretches of land open for wildlife to roam freely. We are now entering the Shompole and Olkiramatian conservancies. Zebras move cautiously through the tall grass, alert. Hapa kupigwa ambush ni mara moja. On the ground, a secretary bird strides with purpose, scanning for unsuspecting prey. To truly appreciate the vastness of these plains, we need elevation. In Olkiramatian, there's a place just for that. It's known as Little Hill.
Kali. Hey, it's worth it. Unaona makeup tumewekewa. It's worth it. Hii inakaa nywele ya babangu. Lakini sasa akiweka blonde, his hair is white.
This natural lookout, the entire conservancy unfolds before you, a sweeping view of a landscape shaped by nature and protected by community. It's remarkable to think that a place like this exists, just a 3-hour drive from Nairobi. Sempeta is my guide here and knows the land well.
Ukiwa hapa juu unaona venye conservancy iko na unaona wale wanyama ambao inaweza kuwa they're actually grazing up on this
what animals can we, if someone was to come here, what animals would they be able to see?
Probably you might see the elephant, the lion, cheetahs, zebras, giraffe, grand gazelle, close to 3 types. And
watu sema ni ngumu sana kuona leopard. Hapa unaweza pata leopard? Hapa
unaweza pata leopard.
Unaweza?
Unaweza. Tena kwa urahisi sana.
Really?
Yeah. Kwa sababu mara mingi tunawapata tu wakiwa njiani. Ama saa nyingine hata hapa penye tupo unaweza pata tu pale ni kama ni makao zao.
On a good day, you might spot wildlife roaming these plains. But with nature, patience, and a touch of luck are essential. And today, we weren't so lucky. For now, the view alone is enough.
Ngurman kwa Kimasai, if you say nkuruma, that is unga.
Unga.
Yeah. So people that actually live here are well known as people that actually cultivate and plant maize in,
so
for themselves.
So ndio maana ikaitwa Nguruman.
It's another humble place that actually you do away the very noisy
Nairobi
place that you've been, and you get a very cooler and silent place environment.
I brought you to experience your silence. Na imagine kwanza usiku inaweza kuwa poa sana.
This is one place I could happily call home.
I imagine kuna very many spots kama hizi pali mtu anaweza camp ama ni hii tu.
This is one of the very unique one.
Oh, this is one of the very unique ones, yeah? Oh, okay.
The grass are
yellow kabisa.
Yellow kabisa kwa sababu ungeipata hapa wakati wa April, June, May, hapa ilikuwa green kabisa. Lakini kwa sasa unaona imebadilika. Hata gari ikienda unaona vumbi imeamuka. Hiyo ni ishara ya kwamba sasa ni wakati ya kiangazi.
One of the richest men in the world made this place famous in 2006 when he stayed in this conservancy.
Bill Gates mwenyewe alitembelea huko. Kawa hiyo lodge ilikuwa tu hapo karibu like from where we are. It's just 2 kilometers away. Just pande ile mlima pande hiyo. Na hapa pia alibahatika hapa kukaa masaa kama haya na kupata chai hapa na kaenda kurudi pale kulala salama.
Okay. Ama irudi tena?
Hajarudi tena.
Bill Gates unaweza rudi karibu. Sijakuja. Tutakunywa chai na kuja na watu wengi wakuje. Wakuje. Unasikia wewe kwanza ukuje nikutengenezee chai yangu wewe hata ujui chai. Okay. Ni poa.
The dry season comes with great sunsets, but it also comes with dust, lots of dust. Na kwa sababu tuende adventure huwa ikosi vikosi, one of our windows malfunctioned and it became a dust festival in the vehicle.
What you can see here is the dust of conservancy. It speaks of volumes of our ancestors.
It turns out, however, that in the bush, the small particles of dust aren't really a threat. They are literally bigger things to worry about. Our guide's keen sight is able to pick 2 elephants in the dark.
What's happening? Kuna mtu wa pikipiki hapo nyuma yetu. Amedecide to shield, ajishield na sisi kwanza. Nafaa uone vile Ruben sasa anaitafuta hivi. Ako wapi?
Ndio hapa.
Ako hebu wapi?
Ndio hapa.
Hapa kando hii. Ndio ile?
Ndio hapa.
Oh, ndio hiyo. Ndio hiyo.
Usimame naweza tukujia.
The motorbike rider and his passengers make it out safely.
Huyo ameenda.
All of us are able to make it out safely and get to Ngomongo town at the foot of the Nguruman escarpment. A little bit dusty, but everyone is okay. The next morning, we are ditching our pickup for the best game viewing vehicle. Today we have the privilege of being taken out by Jonjo, an experienced guide at Lentore Lodge. What about the dust, you ask? At night there was a heavy downpour and now there are pools all over the conservancy. All the creatures seem very happy. Good times are here. Sasa hakuna kuwekwa ambush by predators kwa watering holes. There is water everywhere. Yesterday we had a beautiful sunset. Today we have a beautiful sunrise.
How big is
conservancy? This conservancy, there are 2 conservancies here. So there's Okramatan and Shampole, and they are adjacent to each other, and they quite an expansive area. So this is about 40,000 acres of land. So Shampole is slightly bigger.
Shampole,
no, this is Okramatan. So Okramatan is about 15,000 and Shambole is slightly bigger than Rocamadan. But they are all conjoined, so sometimes, unless you are a member from this community, you can't tell when you cross to Shambole. It's just the same landscape. You know, boundaries were just created for the administrative purposes. But, you know, for us, Maasai here, we live as one community. Shambole and Rocamadan, the same families, same community, so we utilize our land together.
Mornings are a very good time to view animals, and we come across the animal that is known to be silent in the savannah.
We need Maasai.
Maasai.
This Olmeut is up early looking for breakfast. On the game drive, we spot a Nybor Kurum. Hapa hawaziiti sijui Grant's gazelle. Grant nani? Nani alisema yeye tu ndio anajua kupatia wanyama majina? This elegant antelope that has many local names was named after James Augustus Grant, a 19th century Scottish explorer and army officer. European naturalists later named a Nybor Kurum Grant's gazelle to honor his contributions to exploration and natural history. Usinikasirikie, I was just passing the information. From a distance, we are able to make out all Kuragos, ama ukipenda the crested eagle. Then we have the Elube perched on top of a tree.
It's the first time I've been in a tour car like this. Experience is one of a kind. Now, you may think the nature is quiet. It's actually not quiet. It's very loud, but it's very peaceful. Unasikia tu all sorts of birds and creatures and nini. Hata wacha tujiongeza howling wind. Sele kuna howling wind ama mvua, but it's extremely peaceful. I'm grateful niko hapa. Hopefully tutaona elephants na, you know, we might be blessed to see predator. So, yeah, so far, so peaceful.
The Ingat are doing their daily exercise so that they can be fit to outrun Olngatuni or Olkinya Lasho, yani Simba na Chui. Yesterday we ran into Oltome at night, but today I'm hoping for a more pleasant encounter. Despite being the largest mammal on earth, they can be a bit hard to find, especially when they get into the thickets. We head to the forested part, but they are deep in the bush and can only be spotted from above.
Na drone tumeona elephant, lakini saa the thing about kuenda kwa bush ni yes umeziona from bird's eye view, but wewe ukienda sasa hapa ona, you can't really see it, so it might just be here, but you hatuoni, hatuwezi tell. However, kinyesi yake ndio hii hapa, almost fresh, so hopefully you get to see it, but the reality of the bush ndio hii hapa, and the adventure as well, so tutaona. Alafu hatuwezi simamisha, unaona vile unasimamishanga boda, hauwezi simamisha hii ndege useme wewe cheki, umeona, unaona hata asimami. Now that the rain ilianguka, hapa hatujaoga na dust, but it's actually a bit harder on the car to navigate, lakini gari ni beast.
In this southern part of Kajiado, it is flat savanna covered with grass. This is good country to find cheetahs as they are able to chase prey easily while hiding in the long grass.
Oh, so male ni moja, female ni wengi.
Mbona wamechanganyikiwa, ni kama kuna kitu wanaogopa hapa. Naona hawataki kwenda.
Kuna kitu wanaogopa.
Ama there might be a carcass somewhere there. That make them scared.
Kwenda huko.
We as guides, you have to learn the animal behavior because that will mostly tells you what is around the herbivores. Like these guys are quite nervous, so there might be something of interest around here, maybe a lion or something. Actually, like a few meters away from here, there's a cheetah that lives around here. It's a solitary female, and we've spotted her a lot here, even without kills and mostly sometimes with kills. Like a week ago, it killed an impala, just barely less than 100 meters away from here. And 2 weeks before that, we also spotted her on a grand gazelle kill. I do have photos of
Just
her.
around here?
Yes, just within here.
Yeah.
So that tells us that this is her bedroom.
Her bedroom.
Yeah. So she was always around here.
The Conservancy has about 15 cheetahs and 40 lions, so chances of spotting the big cats here are very high. The challenge of having a few hours to spend on a safari, sometimes you won't see them. Lakini wako. We get to spot from a distance the biggest antelope of all, Osirua. Then I get to spot an animal that is easier to see in the north than here. This is Osiram. The English name is Kudu, and it is amazing to see this shy antelope for the first time here in Kajiado. The game drive has been rewarding, but the experience doesn't end out on the plains. At Lentore Lodge, there's a unique way to observe wildlife.
Now, there's a very special feature here called the hide. Now, hide si skin. Hide ni mali unajificha, unaona wanyama wa pori. Twende. And you can view both day and night. I feel like the beginning of a horror movie. I'm a adventure. Yani hadi kuna mahali ya kulala. Hapa ni serious. Kumaanisha ile kitu nafanya hapa inaweza kutake a long time. Tuingie. Okay. Hii saa ndio inaitwa IMAX. Sasa ya nature.
Kabisa. Hapo napata eye view.
Yeah.
Eye view of an animal coming to drink from the outside.
Yeah.
The glass is a one-way glass window.
Yeah.
I mean window pane.
Yeah.
And so the animal will not see you.
Yeah.
No one will even if you walk to the other side,
Yeah.
you won't see the inside. So it's the same for the animals. So they won't see you, but you see them clearly. And it gives you a very special way of observing these animals up close, without animals feeling like your presence. Exactly, exactly. So they will be behaving naturally because they don't know that there's someone watching them very close.
So this is one that respects their personal space.
Exactly, exactly.
From this low vantage point, every movement is magnified, every detail a potential photograph. Here, the wild doesn't feel distant or remote. It's intimate, immediate.
Usually tukiona hiyo squirrel inakonga so hii view imetupatia hiyo opportunity ya kuiwatch ikikunywa maji. Na imekunywa for a while. Imekuja imepewa maji kabisa. Imekata maji.
Imekata maji. But you know, when the squirrel was drinking, it sips very little water, and so it has to stay there for minutes.
Yeah.
Maybe 1 or 2 minutes. Yeah. Otherwise, it doesn't drink. It doesn't like draw a lot in a single sip.
So, what is the coolest view you've had here?
A leopard drinking, and then I spotted. No, it was a striped hyena coming to the waterhole at the same time. So what the leopard did, he went up the tree here, and the hyena was down here. Yeah. So he took a photo of the leopard watching the hyenas. So it's the same photo, like leopard and a hyena in the same frame.
In the same frame.
One of the coolest things.
You never know what might appear next. A lone antelope, a curious zebra, a predator perhaps, each moment a surprise. Even the smallest creatures become fascinating. I watch a flock of red-billed quails dipping their feathers into the water, drinking in a way I've never seen before. At the Hyde, even the ordinary becomes extraordinary. Then there are these baboons that come for water, with one drinking in an awkward manner. Many of you may never get to visit this Hyde, but you can still get a live tour for free. Lentora Lodge has a continuous live stream of the waterhole, so you can watch from anywhere at any time live on YouTube.
If you're looking for sights and sounds za nature, hapa ni Ultra HD, because you can hear the river, you can hear birds, crickets, nini, rustling of leaves, but also you can see as far as the eye can see. Ona, hii view ni kali sana, ona. Oneni, just look at that. And you know what you can't hear? You can't hear traffic. Hauwezi sikia sijui mtu anakuhutia. Hauwezi sikia sijui lift inapanda ama inashuka. Hapa ni nature. So even though it's Ultra HD, it is not distracting. In fact, it's very comforting. It's serene. It's perfect. If you're looking for a break, ndio hii break hapa.
It is hard to imagine that between Amboseli and the Mara, an amazing place like this exists. We came here during the dry season when the ground is brown and dusty. During the wet season, there is an amazing transformation and the place becomes a paradise. Lush green grass covers the ground, turning the plains into a thriving meadow. For a while, there is abundance enough to sustain both wildlife and livestock alike. As land continues to shrink under the pressure of development, it's a rare and reassuring sight to find vast open spaces where wildlife can still roam free. For the few who venture here, it often feels like you have the entire wilderness to yourself. Whether you're visiting Champole and or Kiramatian during the dry or wet season, one thing is certain, it is an amazing place unlike any other. We are, however, not done with this conservancy, as it is very big. It has a mountain and another special lake you also may not have heard of. Wewe ngoja tu, tutakupeleka huko pia. Next week, we are going to Nguruman. There are forests, rivers, fertile land, and the tallest waterfalls in Kajiado. Until then, the adventure continues.